All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Rattled Cage podcast, driver by driver breakdown. I am Ryan, joined as always by Sterling. Um, Crazy Xfinity race.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the end of it. I was listening to it at work and came home and grabbed a bite to eat and got on and saw Austin Hill won, and I was like, oh, how the hell did that happen? And I watched the replay. I was like, wow, everybody just Sammy Smith decided to dive bomb everybody.
Yeah, he definitely cleaned out old Taylor Gray. And then Justin Allgaier just kept it going, and Austin Hill was like, hey, see ya.
Yeah. Yeah, he does get pretty lucky, old Austin Hill.
He wrecked half the fucking field, him and Sam Mayer.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's unfortunately nobody I don't think is bigger than Austin Hill, so
No, definitely not.
he can kind of bully people around a little bit, right, wrong, or indifferent. He can kind of be a little bit of a bully.
Yeah, Creed's right there with him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's right there with him, 6 feet from the edge.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we had before that we had practice and qualifying. I don't know. I watched bits and pieces of practice. Nothing really stuck out to me. I don't know if anything really stuck out to you as far as anybody, anything really that to take away from it other than like obviously the lap times and stuff. We will go over that, but like nothing as far as I don't know. Nothing really stuck out.
No, wasn't really anyone that seemed to be the dominant car. I feel like you could argue that was Bubba Wallace, but I don't know if I really want to say dominant.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so tomorrow it's 400 laps. Obviously, you're going to want to have your dominators. Yeah, you're going to want to have probably 2-3 lap leaders. I mean, if not more.
Yeah, definitely 2, maybe 3. We'll go over the optimals from the previous 6 races. So
Yep. Yep, we will go over that. We won't have to go over the whole sheet. We did that in the preview show, so if anybody didn't get to watch that, definitely go back and watch the preview show. Sterling has a whole bunch of tabs there. He does a great job color coding and everything like that. I was gonna say something. I completely lost my train of thought.
it
But
happens.
yeah. So yeah, Bubba Wallace was a good car today, or in practice. Definitely looked good. Blaney didn't look good, and then had a terrible qualifying. We'll go over him. Uh, yeah. So I guess we'll just get right into it. Let's look at last year's optimals, or not last year's, but previous year's optimals. So I got these pulled up here, Sterling. So obviously November is the same tire as we went over in the preview there, but still good to look at.
I think if you scroll down there a little bit, look at the April races since they were all 400 laps.
Oh, okay. So April is 400 laps, and then yeah, that's right. We went over this in the preview. April and then November. Oh, that's what I was gonna get at. So tomorrow, there's I think there's still like 50-some% chance of rain. So we could see these rain tires come into play.
I actually did not look at that. I hope they just get the whole damn thing in regular tire, but
Yeah. So this could be one of those DFS nightmares where people are coming to take rain tires, and I don't know. I'm just ready for a regular normal race for once. I mean, we did have that kind of with Homestead until Blaney blew up, but yeah, so that is one thing to keep in mind for tomorrow. I don't know how much that really matters. As far as rain tires, like I don't know if anybody like really ran good in the rain tires versus not,
yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't
know.
think we've really had enough of a big sample size to really say, "Oh, Ryan Preece runs really good on rain tires," or "Oh, Michael McDowell runs really bad on rain tires." Like, I don't think there's a big enough sample size yet for us to really, like, narrow down and say, "Oh, if they switch to rain tires, I'm really in on driver X versus driver Y." I
Yeah, but also the thing keep in mind with that is they won't race in the rain. So like they'll just use those tires if the track's damp. So even if they do put them on, they shouldn't have them on for very long.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then hopefully, I mean, I say this as a DFS player standpoint. Hopefully, it's just like NASCAR tells you when to put the rain tires on and when to take them off, versus like all these teams can take off the rain tires whenever, and then you have 20 drivers out there on slicks that are running way faster lap times. Remember that one race? What was that? I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah,
Maybe New
basically
Hampshire or
basically
something.
yeah, basically NASCAR, was like, "Oh, anybody could do whatever," and then you had half the field on slicks and half the field on rain tires, and the slick was it the Roval? I feel like
M-
it was the Roval,
Maybe.
but
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
then
know. I
half
feel like there's been a couple times that they've told them when they could and when they couldn't. Like
yeah, so that's
it's
that's what I
never
hope it is.
consistent.
Yeah. So, yeah, as Sterling said, here is the April uh optimals. That's a good point that these are 400 lappers. So you got still some place differential in there. You got a 35th place Michael McDowell, 22nd place Ryan Preece. Looks like they're all finishing, other than Michael McDowell finished 21st, but they're all, other than that, everybody finished top 10 there.
Yeah, but I like to see 3 guys inside the top 10 in these first 2, like 3 guys that started inside the top 10.
Yeah, that's a good point. Logano, Elliott, and Bubba.
That's I haven't built yet, but I've messed around with lineups, and that's kinda where I've been leaning was
Like
3
three.
guys starting inside the top 10.
Okay. In April, same thing. Yeah, first, third, and fourth. That's a good point there. And first and fifth, but there's a lot of place differential that race. Ross Chastain went from 27th to fifth.
You also
Oh,
had 2 drivers that soaked up pretty much all of their speedster points in that one,
oh,
so
that's a good point. Yeah, Byron and Chastain. Oh, and Dylan. Jeez. Wow. Yeah, a lot of speedster points going around in that one. So, yeah, this one was pretty well spread out. But yeah, so let's get into it. Sterling's got the practice data. Don't have that uploaded yet, but he's got the practice data, so I will probably ask him roughly how every driver practiced, because I've watched it, but I don't have the breakdown in front of me. But
I
I'll ask
pinned it
him.
in the Discord if you wanna pull it up.
Actually, yeah, we will. We'll do that real quick. I actually didn't know you pinned it. That is my fault. Let me actually do that real quick. Go cut practice. I can actually just add a probably. I could probably just add a tab, and we can just click back and forth.
Yeah, it's I'm looking at odds while you're pulling that up there, and it's kinda crazy to me that DraftKings still has Blaney as the favorite, plus 450 to win this race.
Oh my! We don't
Yeah.
need that one anymore. Cut pricing. Paste that. I messed that up. Let me try that one more time. Copy. There we are. Okay. Oh, actually, this goes in order too. You really did do a good job on this one. So we could probably just go right off this.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not colored in like I have it, but
Yeah, look a little bit better. See how that looks on our end. Okay, so that doesn't look half bad. All right, so yeah, we'll just go off this. So yeah, we can just start at the top. What are we doing with Christopher Bell tomorrow, Sterling?
I
Too
kind of
Bell or
hate
not
that
too Bell?
question. I feel like you kind of just group Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin. Just kind of group those guys together and probably have at least one, probably two of them in every lineup. But as far as my favorite, it's really hard for me to not want to play Bell just because of what he's done at Phoenix and Coder in this same package. But
Yeah,
when you look at track history, team history, and fucking everything, it really seems to point at Chase Elliott.
I know. That's what I'm sitting here looking at the driver ratings for the last 2024 Martinsville races. Christopher Bell's not even in the top 12 on either one.
No, he. I don't know.
That's what's scary to me. I mean, it's when you think of Christopher Bell, you think of short, flat tracks. You know, like obviously we saw him dominate at like Iowa, Phoenix, New Hampshire. I think you won at
Yeah, pretty much any short flat track he's won at.
any short, flat track. Yeah, so it's like this is screaming like could be a Christopher Bell kind of week, but it's hard to trust looking at past that data. So it's like, and looking at his practice, 9th and best 10 laps, 7th and best 5 laps, and 5th and best 3 laps. So like he didn't have an overly great practice, but I don't know. It's Christopher Bell. He has been one of the hottest drivers this year. That's 3 wins.
Yeah, he fires off a little quicker than Chase Elliott for the first like 5 or so laps, but then Elliott's a little bit faster, so it's really I feel like you can make an argument to just play both of them, which I think I might do a lot actually.
Bell and Elliott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind it. Yeah, I'm definitely I think in on Bell. I mean, I think you have to. I don't know. You're definitely gonna have to make a decision. What's his ownership coming in at roughly?
I actually haven't even looked at any of that yet.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any up.
yeah, there might not be. Yeah, if there is, definitely spit that out because I'm definitely curious. Definitely curious. So next up, uh, like Sterling said, we got Chase Elliott on the outside pole, which going back through everything we went through on the driver or on the Martinsville preview show, everything leans towards Chase Elliott. Like just basically taking lead here right off the bat. Like he won Bowman Gray on the same tire, ran good at Martinsville. Something tells me he could potentially be. I don't want to say a dark horse in this because obviously he's starting second. He's Chase Elliott, but he could be one of them drivers that are around at the end.
Yeah, there's only been one race, and that was the April 2023 race that he didn't really have any fastest laps or laps led, but every other race he's led or has had like 30 fastest laps or more, so he
So we
definitely
got.
gets around this place pretty fast.
So he was in Group B. Didn't look like he had the best practice, but yeah, like you said, Sterling, he definitely knows how to get around this track. One at Bowman Gray. I think I'm with you. I think you definitely have to play probably two of the top four at least. I think two is probably all you're gonna get, but I think you're gonna have to play two of the top four.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot that mixes and matches those guys. Stretch that to Hamlin too.
Yes, yes. So next up, we probably got the actual legitimate dark horse at Hendrick. Alex Bowman starting third. Definitely, probably been outside of Larson, one of the most consistent Hendrick Motorsports cars out there. Almost got the win last week from Larson. Um, Starting inside the second row this week, Sterling. Mr. Alex Bowman. He's definitely the cheapest dominator out of the top four.
Yeah, but that's with reason, I think. So I kind of feel like Bowman is just there's no point in playing him.
Yeah.
It sets up perfectly for him to solo for somebody, but it ain't gonna be
I
me if
know.
that's the case.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's probably gonna be the least owned out of all four of these guys. Um, so I mean, if you do want to throw a dart, like that's probably a good dart to throw because I mean, you just never know with Alex Bowman. I would have never expected him to be in the hunt for the win at Homestead, but there we were. And I feel like he wasn't not terrible at Martinsville. But he's just not a guy that like pops out. Of course, he's got
No,
Hendrick. Of
but
course, he's Hendrick.
I think he can like definitely be a top 10 car, but starting third, you need him to do more than just be a top 10 car,
Yeah,
especially at
and it.
8,800.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. At 8,800, you're gonna need him probably to lead some laps. I just don't know if he gets there. Next up. Oh, did you have anything else to say?
No.
Okay. Did you get ownership or is ownership up?
Yeah, that's I was seeing Bowman at like 15, I think.
Okay.
No, a little less than that, about 12, which is actually probably a little more than I expected.
Okay. What about Bell?
26, Elliott 36.
Wow. So people are more on Elliott than Bell. For a good reason. For a good reason.
Yeah, and just to kind of on Bowman real quick, I would probably actually rather just play Chris Buescher than Bowman if I'm gonna have to play somebody else there.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
$1,400 cheaper.
I don't have any interest in him either. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I don't think either. But next up, we got Kyle Larson. Obviously, we don't have to say much about Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is Kyle Larson. Starting fourth. Didn't look like he had the best. It just kind of just judging off of them three drivers. Looks like Group B wasn't as fast as Group A. But yeah, Kyle Larson's just Kyle Larson. There's nothing you can really say. Obviously, he's 11,000. I believe he's the most expensive on the or no, Blaney is the most expensive on the
Yeah.
slate. So, uh, yeah, I think outside of boy, I don't know if you were to rank dominators, like if you were to actually rank them, Would you go Elliott, Bell, Larson?
It's tough. Like, it is really tough for me to decide how I want to rank those guys. I've been looking at this and debating it ever since they qualified. So,
I know, no, because like I feel like Chase Elliott's definitely the better play.
yeah,
It's just you're gonna have to be patient because I mean Christopher Bell could come out here and lead the first 100 laps, and you're doing a Brad Collins tilt, you know,
yeah,
hating the world, but then Chase Elliott takes over and leads. Christopher Bell could fade into the abyss, you know.
yeah. I really feel like Elliott and Larson are the right play, but
I think you're right. Now the more we talk about it, I think the more I'm on the Larson Elliott uh, train there.
the thing that sticks out to me though, when you go and look at laps led like by starting position, it's kind of weird that the pole sitter doesn't typically lead in the fall race, but usually leads quite a bit in the spring race. Last spring, their pool sitter led 21% of their laps, and that was the least amount they've led
Hmm.
in the three next gen races in the spring. So I don't know how much to factor that in, but just
Yeah,
kind of
I
odd.
wonder what that is. I wonder if that's because I mean both of them should be kind of cooler weather, so you can't really say like cooler weather. But I mean this is a softer tire, that we ran in November. So I said I if I remember right, that November race people could pass pretty good. Like it wasn't. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like a phenomenal show or anything, but I think it was pretty decent. So if Chase Elliott legitimately has a better car, which I think we see that he does, I think he could get around Christopher Bell pretty good.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Okay. So next up we got Mr. Christopher Busher. 7,400. I mean it stinks because he's 7,400, but I don't think I can get there.
No, I don't see any reason to play him. Like I feel like feel like you just take him and Bowman and completely forget they're in the player pool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not playing Chris Busher. Denny Hamlin. See, I'm kind of curious. Oh, he was in that Group B. He had a really good practice in
Yeah,
that Group B.
he was
I
definitely
had to
one of
make
the
sure.
faster cars on the short run for sure.
Okay, and then he really fell off in the long run.
Not necessarily fell off, just didn't
Main,
keep.
didn't maintain. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So yeah, Denny Hamlin. That's definitely interesting seeing him up there in that Group B practice because it doesn't seem like anybody else really did anything in that Group B practice. Now we see who is that's Chris Busher. He was in the 30s. Then we got Denny Hamlin 228. So I think Denny Hamlin's got to be in consideration. So yeah, that's the bad thing. I haven't built yet. I think if you start out Elliott, Larson, Hamlin, you're probably scraping pennies at that point.
Yeah, you definitely can't play Blaney if you're doing something like that.
Man, I mean, I know we're gonna get to Blaney, so we don't have to really sit there and or sit here and talk about him a lot, but I don't know. I don't know if Blaney is the play.
I think you pretty much almost have to play him.
Okay.
He's been pretty much hands down the best car at Martinsville in the next gen car.
Oh, I definitely I agree with that. Um, do we think he gets up there?
Yeah, I think he's top 10 minimum.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't do my 5x or 6x sheet. I'm curious to see what he'd have to finish. But yeah, we'll get to him. Next up, Joey Logano, starting 7th, 9,600. Uh, didn't really do anything in practice that really stuck out to me. I don't think Joey Logano is going to be a guy I get to tomorrow.
No, I was debating on him a little bit, but I feel like he's just going to be a pretty clear fade for me.
Yep, I agree. I couldn't agree more. Next up, Bubba Wallace, 7,200. We said about this on the preview show. Pretty much no matter where Bubba Wallace qualified, being 7,200 is just way too cheap for Bubba Wallace. Um, yeah, qualifying 8th. I think I'm still right there with him.
Yeah, he's going to be one of my highest owned. I could actually see him being like a second or third tier speedster in this race.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. I could definitely see him doing that Brad Keselowski where it just kind of comes out of nowhere. But remember Brad Keselowski in November at Martinsville. I could see this being a Bubba Wallace, or Bubba Wallace do what he did at Homestead last week.
Yeah, he's been one of the better cars at Martinsville. Doesn't really have the finishes to show that, but he's definitely shown speed here.
Yeah, so I think 7,200. I think he's just about a lock for every one of my line. So next up, we got Tyler Reddick. We said the same thing on the preview show. 7,700 seems really cheap for Tyler Reddick, but he doesn't run good here at Martinsville. And practice really kind of backs that up. I don't know if you're going to get any Tyler Reddick Sterling, but
No,
it doesn't intrigue me at all.
no, especially with Bubba right there at 72, 500 less, and starting right beside him. So I'd Bubba every time.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. Next up, William Byron, 10-4. So he has a little bit of. He's priced up for Martinsville. Looks like he had a definitely a good practice in Group B. So 10-4. I think he's one of them ones that are probably. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'd probably link him in with Hamlin as one of those like dominators with place differential.
Yeah, you definitely want to have him in that group because of his price, but I think I'm gonna end up probably damn near a full fade, if not just because I prefer the guys in front of him, like Bell, Elliott, Larson, or Hamlin.
I can't blame you. What's his ownership looking like? I'm just curious.
I'm assuming he's gonna be one of the lower owned. Let me pull it up here. Not as low as I expected, 25.
Holy cow. Yeah, I won't lie. I figured you were going to tell me like
10.
10%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was expecting.
and I was honestly going to throw him in a single bullet just to try to be different, but yeah, 25%. Ugh. I think I'm right there with you, Sterling. I might full fade him. And that seems terrible at Martinsville. Seems like a terrible strategy to fade William Byron in the 24 Hendrick Chevrolet.
Putting the tinfoil hat on, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Next up, Chase Briscoe. This is the guy I couldn't quit talking about on the preview show. Uh didn't really do anything in practice. It really stuck out to me.
No, he hasn't really practiced well ever, though, it seems.
Okay.
And we know
So
James Small and Martin's Truex were very good here, so I feel like Briscoe is a guy that's going to be low owned that could turn out to be a difference maker.
okay. Do you have the ownership?
Wrong button. He's around 10%. So give me him over Byron.
Yes, yes. Give me him over Byron as well. Yeah, I like that play better. I'm right there with you, Sterling. I think he will be in a single bullet contest for me. Mr. Chase Briscoe. I like that for 10%. That's a great pivot. Uh Next up, Kyle Busch. Much as it pains me to say it, I don't think I'm getting there on Kyle Busch tomorrow. Looks like he practiced actually pretty decent though.
He
Was
was
he
not
group? Oh, he was in group A.
he was not happy with that car. So
It doesn't seem like
he's
he's really
he's never been happy with that car though.
no.
But
No, as much as people blame Childers, I think it's mostly just the next gen car that he's not happy with.
yeah.
He's come out and said he hates the next gen car, but he probably hates the next gen car at Richard Childress also, but
Yeah, I would rather just save 200 and go Josh Berry.
yep, I agree. I'm probably full fade on Kyle Busch. Next up we got Ty Gibbs. I thought this guy was gonna get the pole, and I was like sitting there shaking my head, like, what? Like last week comes out, has a super fast practice. I think he was like first in practice, wasn't he?
I
And
can't remember.
then just completely like doesn't show anything in the race. And this week he comes out, looks like he practiced pretty good at once again. I thought he was gonna get the pole. I don't know, Sterling. I don't know what's going on in Ty Gibbs camp, but I don't really for 7,000 though.
I know it's the price that makes me really want to actually play him, but I feel like this is the typical Ty Gibbs race where he starts out and you're like, "Oh man, I wish I had a ton of him," and then
Yep.
next thing you know, he's battling to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, or he's gonna pull a Ty Gibbs and sit there and run top 5 and then just try something stupid with 20 to go and spin and finish 25th.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the price, but I'm afraid to trust him.
I am too. Is the ownership afraid to trust him? I'm curious what the ownership is because
The ownership is about 15.
okay. Because I mean the price is appealing, but the name is not appealing. So next up we got Mr. Josh Berry, 8,100, starting 14th. Uh, and on a good practice must be in Group B. Yeah, I mean this is Josh Berry's had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Absolutely hell of a year. This is his track. I don't want to say I'm going to be like high on him because I feel like this is going to be I don't want to say dead man's land, but like I just feel like we're not going to get to like a guy that's 8,000. And I could be wrong on that. I haven't built yet.
No,
Um
I see exactly what you're saying, and that's pretty much exactly what I'm thinking. I like him, but I just
yes.
don't think I'm gonna end up there.
Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say. If you want to construct a lineup differently and try to be different, I mean, I'm all for it. But I think like a lot of my lineups, and I think like a lot of lineups in general, are going to go like 3 top heavy guys, probably 2, I don't know, less than 6K guys, and then you're going to have like maybe a 7K guy. I don't know. I don't know if that mass, but
I'm gonna throw out a wild hot take right here and say that Bubba Wallace is on the optimal lineup. So
oh, I don't think that's super hot. I could definitely see that. Because I think you could probably go 3 of the like Chase Elliott. Let's say we go Chase Elliott, Larson, Blaney, and then we go Bubba Wallace. I'm gonna do this right now as we're sitting here talking about it. So let's go. Let's say we go Blaney, Larson, Elliott, and then Bubba Wallace leaves us with 5,300 for 5,300 per guy for 2 guys. So you're gonna have to get ugly there. That's what I mean about Josh Berry. I mean, I don't even think you could get Josh Berry with those guys. Well, you could 4,900 per person. So you're playing Cody Ware. You're playing 2 of them. Casey Mears, Brett Myers, Cody Ware. You got to pick 2 of them guys. And
2 of them?
that's ugly.
I mean, I can't play 2 of them, no.
No. You could play one. I like one of them. I could be okay with, but yeah, playing 2 of them. Yikes. So that's what I mean about Josh Berry. I don't mind the play as long as your lineup can, you know. I mean, let's face it, that might not be the winning formula. The winning formula might not be 3 top guys and then a free for all. It might be 2 of them or something like that. So so next up we got Michael McDowell. 6,100, starting 15th. Didn't have a good practice, probably in Group B, yeah. Group B is hard to really judge. Seems like everybody had a shitty practice. Group B.
Bubba Wallace didn't, so maybe that says something.
Oh wow. I didn't even notice that. He was in Group B, wasn't he? Yes, he was. Oof. Okay. But yeah, Michael McDowell starting 15, 6,100. I don't know, because I feel like this is a range you're gonna want to get to. I just don't think he's the guy I want to get to. If that makes sense. I don't think he's my value.
Yeah, that's I think you're lucky if he finishes where he's starting.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the thing that's gonna play into his advantage is obviously he's not gonna go a lap down early. It's gonna take a while for him to go a lap down unless he drops like an anchor. But
Yeah.
I mean, that will be a thing that benefits him. So, but I don't see a lot out of Mike Dow tomorrow.
No, I think I would rather try to find the extra 200 and play Cool Custer if I'm going to be in that price range.
I agree.
I hate to say this, but I would even argue Austin Dillon over Michael McDowell.
Yep. I hate to say it too, but
And Austin Dillon looked disgusting on the long run.
okay. That's surprising because normally he's like decent at these tire wear tracks. So maybe they'll get that figured out because he normally, I mean, look at Homestead last week. Like he's normally like a pretty good tire saver, quote unquote. I don't know. But next up, John Hunter Nemechek starting 16th, 5,200. I think just Group A, and it looks like he practiced right around where he starts. I don't think my play is John Hunter Nemechek Sterling.
No, you could try to make an argument because of the price, but I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't either. I mean, yeah. Then after that we got Ross Chastain. 9,000. These are his practice ranks. Group A and still not fast. I don't know, Sterling. I don't think I've been on Ross Chastain either. I don't think the way we're building is really going to leave much for Ross Chastain, but
No, I just switched to look at it compared price to price, and I think I'd rather just try to find 300 and get to Briscoe if I was going to play Chastain.
yeah.
No, hell melon, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't think Ross Chastain for $9,000. I don't really see the upside. Austin Dillon, we just talked about him. Actually, doesn't look like he practiced terrible, and Group B too. A couple decent laps there. But for 6,500, I'm right with Sterling. This is probably going to be probably one of my favorites in this range.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but
I did. I had one of those home run bonus bet things a couple days ago. Um, if anybody hasn't done it, the MLB is doing every single day. You have to opt into it, but mine's $5. My buddy's obviously more of a degenerate than I am, I guess, but his is 10. But you bet it, and if your player doesn't hit a home run, you get a bag of bonus bets. Well, I put it on Austin Dillon top 10 plus 400 because I was like, whatever. So yeah, I got a free bonus bet right on Austin Dillon top 10. I didn't mind it for plus 400.
no, that's not terrible. I'd be afraid to make it, but bonus bet, that's
Yeah,
fine.
bonus bet. That's what I mean. Whatever. Yeah, so I got something to root for, I guess. So, but yeah, he's going back to Austin Dillon. I think is he one of your probably favorite value plays in that range?
I don't think I'd call him a favorite. He's a guy that I'm seeing him at like 8% owned. I'll probably be 15-ish.
Okay, that's fair. Because I mean, like we talked with Michael McDowell, he will. Fortunately, unless he drops like an anchor, he will start high enough to where he shouldn't go a lap down early unless he, like I said, drops like an anchor. So
Yeah, really, when I'm in that price range for me, I think it's most of it's going to be Custer or Allmendinger.
okay, yeah, I don't mind that at all. Actually, definitely Cole Custer. I didn't realize like how
And then
decent Cole Custer was at this track.
Carson Hocevar is just $100 more than Austin Dillon, so
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, Austin Dillon isn't one of my favorites, and I love Carson far this week.
Hocevar ran really long and looked like shit on the long run, but for the first like 35-ish laps, he was okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't mind Dylan, but yeah, I think my favorite play is his far. Then I this is weird doing it like this versus the going by pricing. So next up we got Zane Smith, 5,300. Now this is the big question: does he stay right around here? I mean, past races he has stayed. He has ran what 10th to 15th most races this year.
He has definitely ran very well this year, but I don't I don't know if I can trust him.
Yeah, I mean he finished 11th last week, 23rd the week before that at Vegas, and then 9th, 29th, 11th. So yeah, he is a very hit or miss guy. Um, start 19th. That is tough. That is tough.
Phoenix, he started 26th and finished 9th, and that was that race that we were high on him, so maybe we should look to him again, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There
Yeah,
wasn't a lot to go off of in practice, like nothing that tells me we should play him, but
what what's his ownership look like?
it is around 10%.
Okay, yeah, I think I'll be more than 10% on Zane Smith. I think I talked myself into him.
Oh boy.
What do you think, Sterling?
I don't know. I want to have some of them, but I don't know how much I'm gonna have. Scares me.
It does. It does. He's a scary guy. Next up, Austin Cindric. 8,500. Uh, didn't run good at all in practice. Wow, almost dead last. 35th, 35th, 36th in the 3, 5, and 10 run. It wasn't that Group B, but boy, is that bad.
Yeah, that's being 8,500. I don't see myself getting to him.
No, he's basically the Josh Berry. Even if we wanted to play him, I doubt I'm getting. So,
No, I'd pick Josh Berry every time.
yep, absolutely. Especially after looking at the practice times. I mean, I don't know. That was pretty bad. Next up, we got Ryan Priest. This is a guy we were high on. I sound like Chris Collinsworth. No, here's a guy we were high on in the preview show. uh, Starting 21st. I feel like a lot of people are going to be on him.
Yeah,
His long run was really good. Is this long run? I think. Oh no, that's 3. So that's actually short run. Short run.
yeah, his ownership is shown around 25%, so
I
definitely going to be
figured.
high around.
I figured everybody was going to be in on him, but yeah, starting 21st, he's definitely a guy that can finish top 10 easily. I think.
Yeah, everyone knows he's a guy that has a lot of laps around here. Being
Yep.
being 7,500, it's probably going to be tough for me to get to him because anytime I'm in that range, I'm playing Bubba. But
I wonder what some lineups would look like if you went like you just start a new lineup. The first 2 people you click are Priest and Wallace, and I wonder what you could build around that. I'm curious. I mean, obviously we don't do it right now, but that
I I think you can build some decent lineups that way, probably, actually. If you use,
yeah.
like, Elliott and I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you don't have Larson, maybe, like I said, it's not gonna be might not be pretty, but I think it could be a good lineup. So but next up we got Cole Custer, 6,300. Definitely looked like he had a good practice. Probably in group A, yeah, but still. Good practice. I didn't realize how well he actually ran at Martinsville. He actually has good stats at Martinsville. I was actually listening to a podcast today that they were kind of talking about Cole Custer.
Yeah, he's projected for very low ownership, so he could be a good way to get different.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm all on. I'm right there with you. I think I'm on the Custer bandwagon along with Carson Osavar. Next up, we got AJ Allmendinger. Another top 10 last week at Homestead. Still has the best average finish at Homestead for next gen cars. Fun fact. Um, Group B is all right, but starting 23rd, talk me into AJ Allmendinger, Sterling.
He wasn't good at Phoenix, but I don't know. He's a guy that I just feel like you want to play him at Martinsville.
Yeah, I feel like I could be wrong on this, but I feel like Martinsville is just one of those where like we saw it with SVG, we kind of saw it a little bit with Connor Zillich. Like you've always said it, Sterling. It's like these road course guys, run Martinsville pretty good.
Yeah, his fall off was decent, so
Okay, yeah, I think he's got to be in the player pool. All right, so next up we got Noah Gregson, starting 24, 6,900, and Group A, like average lap time or average practice. What do you think about Noah Gregson?
kind of afraid to trust him just because I feel like I don't know, maybe he's tomorrow's Austin Hill, just gets stupid aggressive and wrecks half the field.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not Not super in on Gregson. How did he do at Atlanta? Let me look that up. Or not Atlanta, Phoenix.
I was so confused. I was like, "What the fuck does Atlanta have to do with it?"
Sorry, I was thinking Phoenix here. 26th at Phoenix, so um yeah, I don't think I'm in on no Gregson either. I was trying to talk myself into it a little bit, but I don't think I can.
Yeah, and there's rumors going around that front row is a little iffy on their cup equipment. So
Yeah, that's what you said. If that's true, that's huge. Uh Speaking of front row, we got Todd Gillen starting right next to him. 5,600. Actually looks like his practice was good.
yeah, I'd much rather play him than Gregson just because of the price, and I feel like
Yeah.
they're pretty much identical plays.
Yeah. Yeah, and
It's just
Gillen looked a hell of a lot better.
it seems like he's struggled this season though. So and we know that is a crew chief switch for him, but he did go 27th to 17th at Phoenix. So I don't know. I think if I'm playing one of those cards, it's going to be probably Todd Gilliland.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, good price. I think. No, I mean, would you rather play Gilland or would you rather play? You think Zane Smith?
It's tough. That's
And I'm definitely playing him over John Hunter, right?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I am too. Okay, I was just making sure you were on the same page there. But yeah, between him and Zane Smith, that would be tough. Zane Smith's actually cheaper too. I mean, yeah, he's definitely a lot more riskier starting 6 places ahead of him. But I don't know. Gillen had a good practice, but you're right, Sterling. His race speed has not been there.
And we know Zane has his old crew chief that does their
Yep.
wild calls. So
Yeah. So I think honestly, and I hate to say because it's risky, but I might go Zane Smith over.
fuck it, play them both.
Yeah, you might have to honestly. Uh,
Yeah,
Next up, Daniel Suarez. Mi amigo. Are you playing him? I don't think I can, but
I
talk me
doubt it. I don't.
talk me into it.
I ain't talking you into shit when it comes to Daniel Suarez. I don't see him.
I don't either.
I
I don't
can't
either.
do it.
No, I knew it was gonna be hard to talk me into Daniel Suarez, but yeah, I'm not there. Next up, this is what I'm curious about. Brad Keselowski starting 27th. Absolutely dog shit last week. Um, for some reason, and we've done this long enough, Sterling, where we're all like, "Oh yeah, RFK practice like shit. That's okay." But going over and looking at this, now he was in Group A. Doesn't look like he was horrible.
No, the thing that sucks about him is in the next gen car, he's been ass at Martinsville, except last year when he led like 170 laps and finished ninth.
Yeah, oh man, like
What's
I
his
said,
price?
7,900.
He's definitely in play at that price.
Oh,
It's just,
that's what I'm saying. Like I think he's a good play. I don't know if it's just tough because it's Martinsville, like you just said. Outside of last year, he's dog shit at Martinsville. And last week, it didn't even look like he brought the right car. Looked like he took his Martinsville car to Homestead.
yeah, that's. I wanted to go back through and look. Last year, he started 18th and finished ninth there, led 170. So coming through the pack shouldn't be an issue for him. It's just I don't know. I feel like he's kind of washed, really.
I kind of do too. I kind of do too. I hate to say that about Brad Keselowski. I think he's just about there. What's his ownership looking like? I'm curious because
Ownership
if it's
is
one if it's
yeah, it makes me want to fade him.
yeah,
30%.
I figured. See, it was either going to be like a 10% and then I wanted to play the fuck out of him, or it was going to be a 30% plus and I wanted to fade him. Yeah, I think Brad's a good fade.
Yeah, I feel like you find the extra 200 and play Barry if you're in that range.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Next up, Ty Dillon. Definitely like let's give props where props are due. I mean, Ty Dillon hasn't been terrible.
Now, and I think I think he could be an oddly sneaky play just because.
Yeah. Hey, he's 5,000. Cheap. I mean, you know as well as I do, he does take care of his car. He's just one of those, he just rides around, doesn't really seem to get in anybody's doesn't really seem to cause any messes, I should say. Anybody can get in anybody else's mess, but I mean, he's not been bad this year. Let me read off his finishes. Where's he? Ty Dillon. I mean, 27th, 21st, 16th. I mean, then you get 28th, 29th, and 14th. So the finishes have been there. I don't think that's a bad play for $5,000.
No, I think. I feel like you're going to have to play someone down in that range.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to get down and dirty.
I think he outscores Nemechek. I think
Yep.
he scores. I think I sorted it by price here. I hate to say it, but I think Zane Smith is going to be the clear value play there for me.
Yeah. I can't argue Zane Smith there. And
And
I
really,
think Zane Smith's been one of them guys that just hovers like he literally just hovers around 10th to 15th.
yeah, that's the thing. I feel like he's just starting in that spot that he's gonna by the end of stage one, he's gonna be one of the last cars on the lead lap.
Yep, and that's gonna help him out. Yep, absolutely, I agree. But outside of him, you think Ty Dillon's your favorite outside of him, or do you think it's still Gillen?
Probably still Gilliland for me.
Okay. All right, that's interesting.
Or depends on what you call value. If you it's only 300 more, SVG is
Yeah,
probably the clear favorite being in that
yeah,
track house equipment. Starting 33rd at 5,900.
yeah.
He was actually optimal
Last
in
or
the
November.
fall race, but we kind
Yeah.
of decided that was somewhat a luck box optimal because he ran around 25th the entire race, but ended up like 16th, I think it
Yeah.
12th, 29th to 12th is what he did.
All right. So next up, we got Carson Hocevar. Definitely looked good in practice. I remember seeing that at work. I was like, man, looks good. And of course, he comes out and qualifies 29. It's probably going to be the chalk of, probably not the chalk of the race, but I I assume he'll have high ownership.
Yeah, he could be the Jeb Barton play where you just start with him and then go from there.
And that feels ugly doing that with Carson Hocevar because he could be the Sammy Smith that just, you know, I don't know. He just gets. It's hard to trust Carson Hocevar, but for 6,600, you cannot beat that play. I think he is the just lock him in every lineup. And I'm gonna go out on. I mean, just save 1,300, go down to Carson Hocevar instead of Brett Keselowski. Same play, same
Yeah.
upside.
Yeah, I I think you could probably argue that Hosevar has more upside.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm definitely going Hosevar. I'm probably gonna try. Like I said, I haven't built yet. I don't know if like a Hosevar. What do we say? Priest. Bubba. I don't know what a Bubba Priest Hosevar lineup would leave you, but that'd be a nice start, honestly.
Well, that probably leaves you damn near enough to do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so next up we got Justin Haley, 5,800. It is weird. See, I mean, he just hasn't been the Justin Haley we really saw last year. This practice looks awful.
No, he's kind of a guy I typically like to try and play on a track like this, but I
I
just
do, yeah,
don't think I can trust him. I think he would make a decent pivot off of Hosevar, but that scares me. I don't think I'm going to do that a whole lot, if at
yeah.
all.
I don't blame you. I don't know. I don't know what happened in there because obviously bringing in Rodney Childers shouldn't have downgraded them, but boy, they have not been the same. Yeah, I don't. They just haven't been the same team. Next up, Eric Jones, 6,200. Uh, didn't look terrible. I was expecting an A over there. I was like, huh, it don't look bad. 13, 18, 19, 12, and then you got the 3, 5, and 10 lap average there, and Eric Jones hasn't been bad. I just don't know if I can trust Legacy and Eric Jones.
No, it sucks because I don't know. He's actually had pretty decent track history here, so I feel like you could see him be like a 15th to 20th place car, but it feels ugly.
It does. It does. And it's a shame. I mean, Legacy. Hopefully someday Legacy gets up to be a more prestigious uh team, but yeah, I can't trust them. Hopefully they get a little bit more into the Gibbs Alliance.
Yeah.
So next up we got I don't even know if you want to call it a question mark because like you said, certainly this is probably the play, but Ryan Blaney starting 32nd, 11,200.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to play one of those guys inside the top 5, like two of those guys, and then Blaney, and then just go
Yeah.
from there.
Just
Blaney,
just just out of curiosity, what is his ownership looking like?
50.
Okay. I figured. So basically this is the Jeb Burton play, just way more expensive.
Yeah, I think I'm going to I feel like I'm gonna be over the 50.
Yeah.
I just I really think he has a shot at a top 5. I think he's pretty much guaranteed top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had the best long run speed as far as fall off, so I just feel like I hate the price, but I feel like he's safe. You just play him.
I know that's the thing. I hate the price. And I mean, does he have enough to get to the lead? Is he gonna get you? I mean, he could get you some fast laps, but I don't know. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know what I'm doing with Blaney yet. I don't know. I mean, if he gets the 10th, is that enough?
10th would be exactly 5x, I think.
Yeah, and he does have a top 10 car.
And keep in mind, he is still the favorite to win at plus 450.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably overthinking this, trying to get cute. Yeah, so I think I'm right there with you. I think you lock in Blaney and then try to get two dominators at the front along with Bubba Wallace and hope Bubba Wallace can lead a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like Bubba Wallace is the key to the slate. So
Yep. I'm locking Bubba Wallace in. Next up we got SVG. We kind of talked about him starting 33rd. Didn't look like his practice was half bad. Holy hell. That's not bad
now,
at all.
like, I feel like he had. I mean, he's a track house car too. He definitely has top 10 equipment. I think he's top 20 speed, and is that enough at 5.9? I think so.
Yeah, what's his ownership looking like? I'm curious. Probably
It
chalk.
is
A chalky.
15.
Oh wow, that's not as much as I thought. All right,
Nah.
yeah, I'll probably definitely be over the 15. Haven't built yet, but I definitely like him at 100. Starting 33rd. Probably will go a lap down, but hopefully he can get it back and maybe we get a couple cautions back to back or something like that. So next up we got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starting 34th, 5,700. Nothing's showing me anything in practice. He was even in Group A. Nothing's showing me. I don't think I'm in on Stenhouse. Are you going to talk me into him, Sterling?
No, I mean, I feel like you're gonna need one guy in this range. So if you're playing a lot of lineups, you can leave him in because his track history has been decent. Like track history makes him look like a 20th ish place car. But there was nothing in practice, and I hate playing Ricky Stenhouse, especially on a flat short track.
Yep. Same here. Next up, Riley Herbst. Uh, Obviously he's got the 2311 equipment. He's got good equipment back here in the back.
Yeah, his teammates both qualified top 10, so
Yeah, they did. It's just unfortunately how much of that translates to Riley Herbst.
I don't know if it does, but I mean, like I said, you're gonna
50
need
5,500. Like Sterling said, you're gonna need some of these guys. So he's definitely worth a dart throw. I'd leave him in and definitely mix and match some of these guys down here. He's definitely, I don't think my favorite at 5,500, but definitely one of those where you want to have a lineup or two. He does finish top 20. You're gonna want him.
yeah, but I think for the most part, I would group the guys 6,100 and below, probably 6,200 and below, and just set that at 0 to 1. Like, try not to play anybody in that range. Honestly, you're gonna have to, but definitely not more than one guy down there in that range.
Yeah, yeah. Next up, Cody Ware. This is kind of an interesting one. For some odd reason, Cody Ware seemed to have practiced decent.
Yeah, oddly, he did actually
I
show
know.
speed early
That's
in practice.
I kind of noticed that when I was watching it, like at work. He even had the decent single lap speed. I was like, wow. I mean, obviously, it's a short track, so kind of get away with not having the best equipment. But how much are we trusting Cody Ware? Is he like a decent on at 4,800?
I think you're probably gonna need one of these real cheap punts, like Burt Myers, Casey Mears, Cody Ware. I think you need to play one of these guys the way it's building. You
Yeah,
want to spend a shit ton of salary, just get as many lap leaders as you can.
yeah,
One of my favorite lineups uses every bit of the salary and has Casey Mears in it. So
Oof. Wow.
yeah, that feels absolutely disgusting. But like
Yeah.
obviously, I'm not expecting him to like do anything.
Anything.
I
Yeah.
just like what it allows me to do with the other 5 spots.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I get it. It's just, yeah, it's ugly clicking Casey Mears because you look at all these stats, he's literally dead last in everything. Practice.
Yeah, I don't expect him to finish better than 38th unless people wreck. So
Yeah, and they better wreck quick because does this car even last 100 laps?
that's another thing that scares me. Like
Yeah. I don't even know if, I mean, Carl Long's the car owner and the crew chief. They're, oof.
they have said that he wants a certain amount of cup starts, which I want to say he was like 17 or something away, like a
I remember that.
fair,
Yeah.
fairly decent amount away from them. So does he want to start in park for all of those or what?
And I could completely see it. So, I mean, I get it. I mean, that's a great 4,500 gives you a lot of freedom to definitely reach on some guys and whatever. But yeah, you're not expecting anything more than 38th.
They
What is Team Amerivet?
that's that Mayweather team, I'm pretty sure.
Huh? Because they got Tony Irby Jr. as a crew chief. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I still don't really
Oh, I don't
expect
expect my no. I mean,
I don't
Tony
expect
Uri
that
Jr.
car to
is not.
last.
No, Tony Uri Jr. is not gonna polish a turd, but that is kind of cool that he's back on the pit box. Yeah, Burt Myers 4,700. He's probably gonna be 37th. Yeah, he's just like old Casey Mears, just one spot ahead of him in every category.
Yeah, I'd say Casey Mears beats him though.
Probably, yeah. I mean, good for Burt Myers though. I mean, that's a really cool story. I know, Sterling, you're more into the small track or green roots racing, but grassroots racing. That's what I was trying to get at. Grassroots racing, but that is a cool story with the Bowman Gray.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to get around this place in a modified, I would say.
Yeah. All right, so Sterling, I came to this page right here. So basically, we're in on Blaney, and then we're pretty much picking a couple guys from fourth, fifth,
Yeah,
second.
I pretty much think your player pool is Blaney, Larson, Hamlin, Bell, Elliott. You're probably throwing 2, if not 3 of these guys in every
Yep.
lineup.
Yep, I agree. And then
We did talk about Briscoe wanting a little bit of him to get different. I'm not going to be able to get as much of him as I
no,
would
I'm not
like
either.
to, if I get any, but I do think he is a great way to
That's the
begin.
bad thing about Blaney starting 32nd. Like I feel like he basically takes away a dominator. Like if I mean obviously if you pick Larson, Elliott, and then you decided to fade Blaney and went Hamlin, obviously all three of them guys probably aren't going to be big dominators, but
Yeah, I feel like you kind of are going to end up having to pick Larson or Blaney. Like you're not
yeah,
going to be able to play both of those guys. But
right. Yeah, that's going to be an ugly lineup. But yeah, that's basically and then we liked Bubba Wallace there at
I feel like
72.
I think Butler is hands down going to be my most owned player.
Yep. Carson Host Var 66. Cole Custer 63. Those were great plays there. And then down here, Zane Smith at 5,300. I think he's cheap 5,300. And like Sterling said, old which we don't even have. We don't even have what's his face, Casey Mears on here. But
Yeah.
4,500, that's not bad. Anything else you want to add, Sterling?
Not really. I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about all I got. So, I know I haven't said it yet. I guess that just dawned on me. You guys haven't got in the Discord yet. It is free. We have a lot of great minds in there. I saw Ben had a great night there Friday night at the trucks. I believe he finished second. He had another good day, I think, today too, until the stat correction messed him up. But the Discord's just full of great people like Ben, Brad Collins. He's got 2 fantasy racing world championship tickets so far. Me, Sterling are obviously in there. You got Cam Fan, D Bulls. Stukas is in there with his Sims. You have to pay for those, but
ACS is in there. He finished second in the Piston for Xfinity today.
yep, ACS, he's always in there. So if anybody wants to join the Discord, I will post a link in the comments section after this video is posted. If anybody wants to get in there, click it. It's free, no charge, and definitely don't be afraid to ask questions. You will get a unfiltered um, response. So, yeah, that's all I got. Definitely subscribe, comment, anything you guys want to see. And then, like I said, also in that Discord, you see all these pages. Sterling wrote up. Got the optimals in there, driver ratings, laps led. He has all this in the Discord. He makes that up. That's a great help. Anybody. But other than that, guys, that's all I got. Anything you want to add, Sterling?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. I will. Yeah, we will probably do another preview show next week. So we'll see you guys there.
Yep. See you. Good luck.